as folks join in terms of what you'll need today, certainly music, because as always, like, I'm not allowed to play anything here over Facebook, so definitely get some tunes to have on during your workout. Hey, Claudia, thanks for joining. Good to see you virtually. So you'll also need a mat, just a single weight. Could be a suitcase for carries, or even like a laundry detergent, jug of water, anything to just add a little resistance. Of course, that's always optional. And then be maybe near steps or a step to leverage that as well. So that is all we'll need. So you could even, if you have steps outside, you could even go outside maybe and enjoy some sunshine. Hey, Amy. And we'll wait a couple more minutes, or maybe a minute. Let's see what else. Have some water. I hope you guys are staying hydrated, even though some of us might be chained to our desk all day now that we're working from home. Make sure you get up and stretch your legs and get some water throughout the day. I noticed yesterday that I was working all day and then had hardly drank anything. So naughty trainer. So, and hopefully just able to, now that we're into week 3 here, just get a new routine established, you know, in terms of just still trying to find some time to work out, take some private time for you to de-stress perhaps, stretch it out, do some yoga, of course, which I always recommend. But, you know, just finding what that new routine is, making sure you're not just working day until night with this situation. So, hey, Mark, thanks for joining. All right, so I'll just go ahead and describe what the workout is going to be today. So it's just going to be a stability workout. So if you're looking for a HIIT interval training workout, this is not the workout for you. This could be done maybe before or after if you want to kind of pause the workout. So we're just going to work on stabilizing the core. So again, this would be really good for beginners, or if you're kind of took a break from fitness and are coming back, or even maybe if it's just a recovery day for you, you don't want to do anything too strenuous, but you still want to just move. So we're just going to work on that core, the back, abs, of course, a little bit into the glutes, you know, getting through everything. So we'll go through, I'll probably go through 2 rounds of the main set with you guys. And then at that point, if you want to pause it and do a couple more rounds, you're welcome to. And then I'll just wrap up with a few final exercises, kind of cool down. So, all right. Any questions you guys have before I move away from the computer, because I won't be able to see way back there until I check in during the round. So, okay. So again, find some tunes, get some water, and we'll get started. So the first thing we're going to do is starting down on the floor. So find your mat or the carpet and just come down onto your side and bend your knees 90-degree angle, and then your hips there at 90 degrees. So you're at 90 degrees here and 90 degrees at this angle too. And you're going to stack your arms here. So if this is uncomfortable for you to kind of have your neck stretching all the way down, just find a little blanket or a pillow, or you might even be able to roll up your mat a little bit and just kind of give yourself a little height there under the head. So, all right, and then we're going to stack our hands here. So we have, I like to call these alligator hands. And we're just going to get some mobility into the torso here, especially more in the thoracic spine. So we're going to inhale and reach your top hand up. And then exhale, take that hand, the back of the hand to the floor behind you. And then inhale, reach it back up to the ceiling. And then exhale, close it back to the starting position. So we'll do that a few times. So inhale, reach it up, and your gaze is following the hand here. And exhale it back. And it's okay if your knees kind of separate here, and it's all right if your shoulder blades back here don't get all the way down to the floor. That's okay. We're just working on a little stability or mobility here. but we're still being really gentle. So bring it back. And then we'll take one more round on this side. So inhale, reach. Exhale, hand comes back. Inhale, reach it up to the sky. And exhale, close. So then you guys can just roll over onto your backs and roll over onto the other side. And flip over here. And again, find that 90-degree angle with the hips and the knees. Extend the arms straight out from the shoulders, stack the palms, and if you need that little pillow here underneath the head, place your pillow, and then inhale, reach the hand up. Exhale, take it behind. Inhale, reach, just let that head follow. Exhale, close. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale. Inhale, reach. Exhale, close. And then one more time, inhale, reach it up. And exhale, close. Or sorry, back to the floor. We're not closed yet. Then inhale, back up to the sky. Now we're closing down to the front. Okay, excellent. All right. So then we're going to come over onto our hands and knees. And, of course, I have to throw some yoga poses into this, being a yoga instructor. So one of the classics, cat-cow. So just bring your wrists under your shoulders, knees hip distance apart. Hips are stacked right over the knees here. And we're just going to warm up our spine a little bit more here. So as we inhale, we're going to drop the belly down, a little bit of arch in the back. You don't have to go whole hog here. But just draw your chest a little forward, look up. And then as you exhale, you're going to round the back, tuck the tailbone, bring your chin into your chest. And then inhale it back up to that little arch, lifting the tail. And again, you don't have to get really crazy with the neck looking up. You can even just look straight ahead here, just a little arch in the back. And then exhale, spread those shoulder blades, tuck the tail. And one more time, inhale to cow. And exhale to cat, round that spine. All right, and back into center. One more little warm up here. Another yoga classic, little bird dogs. So we're going to inhale, stretch our right leg straight back behind. So flex that foot and make sure you're not trying to lift it too high. It can just be a few inches off the ground. More importantly, to just level your hips. Draw your navel into the spine so you're protecting your back. You got some nice core power there. And so you can stay here if this is already some nice work. If you want a little bit more, you just reach that left arm out in front of you. So we're going to hold here for a few breaths. This is really good getting into, of course, we're strengthening the core, but it's really good for your back too here. Just lengthen through your fingertips, press back through your heel, and then exhale, release it down, and we'll take it to the other side. So inhale, reach the left leg back, flex that foot, again, level hips, draw the navel into the spine, and then if you're comfortable here, and you can reach the right arm out in front. That's always opposite arm and leg. Again, reach and getting really long while you're still engaging that core, navel to spine, protect your back. And then exhale, take it in. All right, so now we're gonna do just, 4 exercises. We'll do 2 rounds, and then if you like, you can pause me and do another round or 2 on your own, and then come back to the final set of exercises. So All right, so we're gonna start, come up to standing. So again, just being mindful if you're not getting dizzy coming up from the floor. If you need to grab onto your couch, a step, a wall to come up, that's fine. Safety first, of course. And we're gonna do some elephant walks. So just feet hips distance apart. We're gonna bend the knees as we hinge down. Place your hands on the floor and you're gonna walk them out, and you're walking yourself out to plank pose. So when you get out here, if this is a little much, just gently take the knees to the floor. So from here, whether you're up in full plank or down to the knees, you can stay in plank and just hold, or you can also insert a little push-up here. So if you're doing that push-up, press it down and back up. So again, your elbows are coming back down, kind of 45-degree angle. And when you come up back up to your plank, you're gonna bend the knees as you walk yourself back to where your feet are and gently come up to standing. So we'll do that a few more times. Come down, walk out to plank. Again, you have that option here to come to the knees. Again, hold the plank here or lower down to a little push-up. And gently walk it back and come up. Take it down, walk it out. A little push up. And walk it back. Gently come up. And we'll take one or two more. Let's see. Come on out. Again, if you want to lower the knees, press it up. Back to plank. And walk it back. Let's take one more. Come on down. And just take this at your own pace. If this is a little bit too fast for you, slow it down. Reduce your number of reps that we're doing here. That's totally fine. And take it back. And come up. All right. So next exercise we're going to do is you have two options, just depending on what you're feeling today. You can simply just do a wall sit. So if you're near a wall, just coming down, feet hips distance apart. Bend the knees and come down to about a 90-degree angle. Just make sure your knees are pointing out over your toes. Your knees are still about over your ankles. So you can just take this, hold this position. Or your other option is, I'm going to start my timer here, is to just do some basic squats. So again, feet hip distance apart, maybe a little bit wider. And we're just going to come down 90 degrees if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, shorten it up. If you need to have a wall here for a little stability, you can use that wall. All right. We'll do 10 more seconds with the squat. If you had already started the wall sit, you can come out of it. If you're doing the squats and you started with me, now you can stop. Okay. All right, so now we're going to use our step. So if you're near stairs and you just want to walk or run up and down the stairs, feel free. Or if you just want to stick to using a single step, I'll just walk you through a couple options. So if you're starting your stairs, just start walking. And if you're just going to do a single step, we're just going to step up and down. Anyway, if you need to take that handrail, do that. I like to switch out my feet, so starting with the opposite foot. And I'm going to trip myself because these shoes always come untied. And I always forget to double knot them. And then the other option, if you want a little bit more on your step ups, is when you come up, drive the knee up and take it back down. And swing the opposite arm, drive the knee up, engage that core as you drive that knee up. All right. I think you guys, since I had a break, are probably good. So bring that back down. And sorry, what's our last exercise? Oh yeah, the carry. So here's where, if you have that weight that I mentioned you might need. So I have a little kettlebell here. If you have a suitcase or laundry jug or whatever, we're just gonna do a single carry, which is gonna be a little hard for me to demonstrate because I don't have a ton of walking room here. But you're gonna take your weight just into one hand. Make sure your shoulders are level so we're not dipping down here. We're engaging our core to keep everything level here. And then you're just gonna walk. So without really trying to compensate with this arm, trying to keep everything in. And we're just gonna walk around. So we're gonna do about 20 seconds on one side, and then you're gonna do 20 on the other. So keep it going. Hi, Michelle, thanks for joining. All right. All right, let's switch arms. So take your suitcase to the other side. I realize my head's cut off. And we're just gonna walk. Again, trying to keep your shoulders level here. So don't be walking around like this. Bring it up, engage that core, and walk. It doesn't have to be super fast. It doesn't have to be these giant steps. We're just stabilizing our core. It's holding us upright even though we've got this big weight in the one hand. All right. So you guys can stop that. So that's one round. So I'll walk through one more round with you guys. And then, like I said, you can always do more. So we're gonna go back to the top with our elephant walks. So coming to the back of your mat, if you like, if you don't really need a mat for this. And we'll bend our knees, come down, walk out to plank. Again, your option to come to the knees or just stay right here. You don't have to do this push-up. We'll bend the knees, walk it back. Again, be mindful with your movement. You don't need to rush it. We're working on stabilization here. So really working that core, you're working almost everything down here. Again, lower to the knees. Or just stay in that plank and walk it back. Come up. Take it down, walk it out. Yep, some of you guys get to do this outside. It's so nice out there. Except for it might be muddy here on grass. I'll take it down again. All right, and gently come up. All right, so now we're gonna go into either the squats or the wall sits. Ooh, reset. So if you're going to the squats, go ahead, go right into those. If you're doing the wall sit, again, shoulders against the wall, feet come out, slide it down, knees over the ankle, knees pointing out over that middle toe. Keep the chest lifted, shoulder blades against the wall, and just chill, right? No problem. My thighs aren't burning. All right. Take a few more seconds here. All right, and gently come up. Walk the feet back underneath of you. Okay, now go back to our steps. So whether you're running up and down your own set of stairs, or again, just doing a step tap, and you can always use that stair route. And then if you want to drive the knee up, add a little bit more. Use that core to lift the knee. Stay nice and lifted up through the shoulders. All right, last one. So then we'll go back to our farmer's carry. So find your weight, gently bring it up. Let's keep forgetting to use that watch here. All right. better about timing this time. So again, make sure you're nice and stable here and begin to walk out your carry. Hopefully you'll be able to get creative with the weights here. Like I said, laundry jugs. I have some heavy bags of rice at home. I have a paint can over here. I thought that'd be a good one to use. So be creative. Level your shoulders. All right, I'm going to switch the arms. All right, and walk it out. So again, try not to tip. Gauge that core. Try not to flail out and counterbalance with the other arm. Just relax, walk it around. Ideally, if you have a nice long runway in your basement, you're walking up and down your driveway, whatever works. All right, so you can go ahead and put that down. Like I said, if you want to do one or two more rounds of that, feel free. You can just pause me here and go do your additional rounds. For the rest of us, we're going to come down, cool it down a little bit. So gently come down to the floor. We're still going to do some work. We're just going to do it on the floor. So come down, lay on your side. And I like to just kind of bend my elbow and cradle my head here. And straighten out your legs, stack your hips. And it's just a simple leg lift. I'm sure you guys have probably done these before. And so we're just going to lift the leg up and down. Try not to use like a ton of momentum and just fling the leg up and down. My dad's famous for that. So dad, if you're watching, stop doing that. But just mindfully lift that leg up and down. You don't have to worry about getting it all the way up to the sky. Just find what your range of motion is. And it might be really different when we get to the other side. So just a nice, thoughtful leg lift. All right. And then you guys can just roll over onto your backs, roll onto the other side. I'm gonna flip. I can still see. Well, I'm not seeing you, but really don't want to put my back to you. So, okay. So again, just stack your hips, cradle the head, and then add your leg lift. And if you need to keep yourself honest even, just give yourself a little count. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. That way you know you're not rushing it up or down. You really don't want to use momentum. I know it's a crutch we like to use a lot. You get much more out of it. You're here anyways, so let's just slow it down. All right, so bring that down. Now roll over onto your backs. And we're gonna do some dead bugs. So nice little core exercise and test your coordination. I will probably mess this up, so I usually do. Okay, so start with laying down on your back, your knees are bent, neutral spine, and you're just gonna bring your knees, so your shins are parallel to the earth, and your knees are stacked over your hips. And you're gonna reach your arms straight up to the sky. So this is our baseline, our starting position here. So then from here, we're gonna reach the left leg forward and the right arm above and back. And then bring it back to the starting position, and then the opposite leg and arm reach, and bring it back. Other option too, if it doesn't feel good to reach that leg all the way out to the floor, just take the heel to the floor and do heel taps. Still reach that arm above and just take that heel to the floor. So maybe you guys don't have a problem with this, especially when I'm talking and trying to do it. You tend to get confused. Just keep that core nice and stable and reach it. This looks really funny if you videotape it and speed it up really fast. All right. A few more times. Oh, see? Started moving my arms. It's time for me to stop. All right, then bring it down. Hug your knees in for a moment. And then take the feet back down to the floor. And we're going to take our feet about hips distance apart and move the ankles so they're underneath the knees. We're just going to go into some bridge poses. So take your arms down your sides. Actually, let's try the variation. I like to do this one too. So backs of the arms into the floor, but then bend your elbows, reach your fingertips up to the sky. So robot arms. And so that just gives us a nice firm base here as we go up and down. So then as you inhale, press the heels into the floor and slowly lift the hips up to the sky. If it doesn't feel good to get all the way up, that's totally fine. Just come up to your range of motion. A little engagement of the glutes as we're coming up here. And then slowly lower it down vertebra by vertebra. And once the hips get down, give it a rest. And then inhale, curl. Press into those heels, lift the hips. Bring your chest kind of lifts up towards your chin, but your chin stays pointing up to the sky. But you don't want to kind of crunch the neck here, so keep that chin lifted and roll it down. Inhale, take it up. If you don't like the robot arms, you just lower your hands to your sides. And lower. A few more rounds. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Let's take two more. This is really good when you've been sitting all day. Kind of gets the glutes to start working again, opens up the hip flexors when you lift up. Feels really good. Last one. All right. So now we're going to roll over onto our bellies. And so take your feet about hips distance apart, even a little bit wider, especially if you ever have any crankiness in your lower back. We're just going to do some light cobra lifts here. So actually, let's start with a couple different versions. So take your hands out wide off your mat and tent your fingertips. And then just let your chin come towards the center of your mat. And then as you inhale, just press into the ground and gently lift the chest. And just bring your gaze just a foot out in front of you, or even 8 inches or so, and lower down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift. And lower. All right, then let your elbows come down to the ground, kind of in that 90-degree, like goalpost arms. So you can continue doing what we were doing. If you want to add a little bit more strengthening into the back, as you inhale, we're going to float up the arms. And exhale, lower. So again, it's not a huge movement. We're not trying to do some crazy back bend here. Just inhale, lift. Just a few inches. And lower. A few more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. And lower. All right, now bring those hands under your shoulders. Draw your elbows in, take your shoulders drifting back. And just gently press yourself up. And then walk your hands back, let your hips sink into your heels. and then just come into a child's pose here. So if it's comfortable, you can take your head all the way to the floor. If that's not accessible, you can take pillows, stack your forearms, but a nice little position to kind of round out your back after a little bit of back bend that we did there. But if that's not comfortable too, and you want to keep the hips lifted, you can put pillows and blankets behind the knees. You can keep your hips up and just kind of come down on forearms, puppy pose. So just find what works for you. It's just your final resting pose. And then whenever you're ready, just gently bring it back up. That is your workout for today, your stability. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Any questions that you guys have? I don't see anything in the thread just yet, but crazy hair. So just stay tuned on Facebook for our next workout. I know that someone requested more of a seniors workout, so that is coming very soon. And hope you guys are doing well. I know as of 8 o'clock tonight, our restrictions are even greater. So we'll continue to do these kind of things so we can reach out to you and communicate with you. But as always, you can reach out to us via text, email, phone calls. We're still answering the phone. So hope you guys are doing well, and we'll be back online again soon.